Hey everybody, little progress update on my Warband armies. And once again, this is for Pendraken's 10mm fantasy tabletop wargaming rule set Warband by Stephen Hardy using their 10mm figures, which look like this. I'll do a little drive through. These are the Hill Dwarves. This is the starter. These are Orcs and Goblins. That's the starter. With some variation, and I'll get to that later. Then here's our extra Orcs and Goblins, extra Hill Dwarves. So I'll give a little drive-by the talk. There we go. So the models, 10mm, really good sculpts. A lot of detail in these little guys. I think they're going to be pretty cool to paint up. A lot of variation too. Not much repetition. Poses are repeated, but fine details are pretty variable. Helmets, types of helmets, types of beards for the dwarves, armor styles, shield styles. A lot of really cool variation. So well done on the sculpts, and the casting was really good. Not a lot of cleanup was involved, and I really appreciate that. So I bought the two starters and then a lot of extra pieces, and you can see a lot of extra pieces, not only in units that aren't in the starter, like there's some berserkers here for the dwarves. There's also some trolls and giants and ogres and stuff. So I did buy some extra stuff, not only to have completely new units, but also to substitute within some of the units from the starter. So like here is the orc, I'm going to call him an orc chieftain, and I've got a little squig to go with him. I was going to put a little chain going from his hand, but maybe I should have done that. Put him on the other side. Oops. And then there's a what do you call it? That's an ogre in the back. I also picked up the dwarf king, so he can go on as the dwarf general. So that's pretty cool. And then some little extras. So they got like little wizard's table and a little stone for the dwarf warcasters or spellcasters. Anyway, yeah, really fun to put together so far. I've been working on this for I guess a couple weeks now, but I'm at the point where I'm not going to make any more yet. I do have a bunch of packs left, but I'm going to leave it. Even though I do want a gyrocopter unit for the dwarves, I'll just wait and play it and get back into it. But I do want to start the actual painting soon. Hopefully, I can play the game next week. Try it out as many times as I can if I can get a couple people to try it out. But it does look cool. Little thing on the basing. Now, some of them look really packed in there, and that's because I'm going with a much smaller base size than is I guess recommended or what was meant for the rules. The 100 by 50 is the standard for the game, but I'm going with a 60 by 30 because I can fit it on my smaller table. My table can go to like 5 by 3, but I can make it 4 by 3 really easy, or even 3 by 3 as is without sticking out the slides, and that requires smaller basing than 100 by 50. So 60 by 30, and not only does it allow me to play on my small table, but it also means that a pack of 25 warrior models, let's say, can be split between 2 or 3 units. So there are 10 guys on the orc and goblin bases, kind of like very horde like, and that means I can get 2.5 bases out of one warrior pack. The dwarves, I have 8 guys on a base, so I can get 3 with an extra guy. So that's pretty cool economically. So yeah, pros and cons. They're very packed, and it's not as cool looking, not as what are they, the scenic, very not as scenic as say something like the big bases in DBA or whatever. But I like it. I think it's gonna be cool, a bit more compact, and the storage will be a lot easier, which I also like. So yeah, so far minis are really cool. So I do give kudos to Pendraken for these models. The rules I've read a couple times over now, over the last few months, and I'm gonna read it again before playing a game. I'll take some notes too, and so far I like what I see. I don't have um, a lot of experience with fantasy rules outside of, say, Warhammer Fantasy. So this is a nice little change, and I'm hoping it'll be what I'm looking for in a fantasy rule set. As much as I do love Warhammer Fantasy, you need really big armies, I find, which are just very expensive and inhibiting. So hopefully this will do the job for me, and I'll let you know. So this is just work in progress update number 1. I will definitely get more for you as I go along, including thoughts after the game, maybe even thoughts before the game. Maybe next week, if I do happen to play, I'll get some thoughts on the rules before the play. And yeah, so more coming with Warband. My move is also imminent, so I don't know how far I'm going to get before I have to move. Hopefully far enough that when the move is all done, I can just take the armies back out and go with it. But more coming. So thanks for watching. Questions or comments, if you have any questions about the game or the models, let me know, and I'll give you some more detailed look at things. As I go along, I will give more detailed shots, some more detailed videos on the units. So if you see anything that you have a question for, let me know, and I shall respond. Thanks for watching. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope you're going to be busy with family or other fun activities. Hopefully the weather's good where you are. And have a good one. Thanks. Bye.